Greetings, Clown Gaming fans. We're here for is it week 6? Yeah, week 6 of Lotus Gardenia League for a match between Clown Gaming and Fiendish Codex. On the mic, I am Shot Duck here with Kills once again.
How's it going, everybody? We're right into draft here. Got some pretty normal bands going down right now.
Yeah.
Jarvan and
Sorry. So far we've got Jarvan for Batman, Silas for Demandus, the Tom Kench support top flex. Interesting from Clown taking away the Victor, which is another Demandus standard, and I guess they're scared of today's buffs for Diana, so getting that right out the jungle.
yeah, those buffs look like too strong, especially it's not really a pick that Batman would ever go for. So it makes sense for them to just get out of the way, not have to worry about facing it ever, and just make Batman's life a little easier. The Corki pickup, not surprising. Corki's in a really good spot right now, and Demandus' patented Yone is left open for him to pick up.
Okay.
This is not a surprising pick.
Yeah, no, he pretty much always is asking for Yone. So let's see if he's got what it takes to pay the bills. But that means they are gonna have to look for AP elsewhere.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if they looked for maybe like an AP top or even the Swain pickup. Unsure of where that's going right now, but would not be surprised if they went to the bot lane.
Yeah, unfortunately, as a former Swain main, Riot's balance has kept him in support most of the time recently. No one would be happier than me to see him go top lane because that's where I used to play him. But he just feels pretty rough, and especially blind in top. that's that's tough.
Yeah, very likely to go to the support role, but we do have Induced down playing ADC down there, so he can pick up anything he wants. But
Well,
the
and there's
GP
the
coming out,
answer.
yeah, there the GP coming out for Jesse against the Mordekaiser. It's not really a surprising pick. Once again, favorite pick. He loves playing GP, so we're not surprised he picked that one up.
I am wondering if we're going to see an AP carry in the bot lane, whether that's something like I've seen Induced play Heimerdinger. I've seen him play, I want to say I've seen him play Ziggs, but I wouldn't bet money on that. But his Heimer was good. His Heimer was pretty sweet, even if it was a cluster of a game.
Yeah, Induce is the player I don't doubt any pick he picks. I think he's gonna pick whatever is best for the team and will do well on it. He could play Gwen bot lane if you wanted to. It's gonna work. So I'm very interested to see where these picks are gonna go. Best the Swain probably gonna be a support, but you never know.
I mean, with the relatively high econ that support gets these days, I could see something like a Senna going down with a Swain. Um, but that doesn't feel like a super induced style pick. Two-time player of the week induced.
Yeah, he's gonna want to pick something that's gonna get kills early fight because all eyes are on him in these games. He's gonna get four-manned every single time, so he wants something that can make some plays, and so that's not usually the pick for that.
Yorick, though. So I think there's been a bamboozle. Is that a Mordekaiser bot lane? Or are we looking at Jungle Mord? Because he did get. Okay, yeah. So I'm betting that's Jungle Mordekaiser, because he did get jungle damage buffs along with a couple other juggernauts like Darius and Garen last season. Um, he was never like S tier, but he has a pretty solid jungle clear.
And that is a Pantheon support coming out. So that is a Swain ADC. Like I was trying to call, this draft was just everywhere.
Ooh.
With the Mordekaiser jungle, the Swain APC now. This is going to be a good game. I am very excited to see what we're going to do here.
Yeah, that's really spicy drafts on both sides. I got a little worried with bands like Hecarim coming out, wondering what Batman was going to go on, but the total lack of focus on Batman ban wise from Fiendish Codex left his whole champ pool basically open, other than the Jarvan. So Sejuani is like the iconic Batman champion.
Yeah, there's not a champion I associate more with Batman than this is Ronnie. So that's not really a surprising pick either. I think they've got a very good all-in team.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
definitely their goal. Definitely right now is going to be go in, catch out some people with the Yone and the Sejuani ults, and just fight front to back.
I'm pretty curious to see how top lane goes, because this is my first time. I just got home 20 minutes before this lobby started. So I have not seen a single second of gameplay with the new teleport.
Oh yeah, the teleport changes. This is going to be huge
Yeah.
for I think so. With the teleport changes, Gangplank is extremely strong because Gangplank provides automatic map pressure at level 6 way before teleport ever comes online to be TP'd down. And B,
Yep.
you can now use TP selfishly and not get like flamed for it
Yeah.
and just TP top and farm perma. So GP just becomes so much more viable. I think this is going to be a really big draft. I think in the end, Clown Gaming does come out with the victory in terms of draft.
I get scared when I see a Yorick pick, honestly, because that champ is going to sit in a side lane. Whether or not Unleashed Teleport became a thing, Yorick was going to sit in a side lane 24/7 and apply pressure. And the fact that they insta-locked that right after the Gangplank kind of tells me that's a comfortable matchup for him. Um, I main neither of those champions, so I couldn't tell you the exact matchup stats. But
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good matchup or not, but it's definitely something that A, I think they knew he was going to pick Gangplank, and B, they were prepared for this pick with the Yorick to have an extremely strong matchup. I even think the Mordekaiser was complete bait to try and bait out the Gangplank and pick the Yorick up.
let's switch over because they are in client draft, so we can see. So it is in fact the Mordekaiser jungle that is confirmed.
Yeah, it really could have gone either way. The Mordekaiser jungle does make a lot more sense with the changes that you did bring up. I don't know how York jungle would have went. I can't say I've seen a lot of York jungle ever, but
I can see it like conceptually working similar to how Zyra Jungle was cool for a minute, where you have the minions on Yorick instead of the plants on Zyra to tank jungle aggro, so you end up with a really healthy jungle clear. But I don't think Riot wants anything to do with that, so Yorick's never gotten silly changes like the 300% damage buff that
yeah,
Diana, well, that whenever they want a champ to be a jungler, they slap 300% damage on an ability and say GG.
yeah. They're also doing some weird swaps. I have no clue what's going on here. They're swapping
Yeah.
back and forth. Swain, who is playing Swain here? Is it induced? Is it Wisdom? At this point, I don't know. I'd be surprised if it's the way it is right now with induced on the Pantheon, but we will see. I think the induced is going to be taking Pantheon down there.
Yep. That's
That
that's
that
locked
does seem
in.
to be the play.
We are in spectator delay, so that's Pantheon induced.
That is going to be a spicy pick. Can induced be able to assassinate some of these carries fast enough? And are they going to have enough AP damage out of this Swain, especially if he has to go the support route with not being able to get any gold really after the first 15, 20 minutes?
It usually works with Swain by just crapping out damage and getting the kills, getting the assists. Um,
True.
he's not going to have any way to follow the Pantheon once the Grand Skyfall comes out and he's roaming the map. Um, so it really is going to be very lane focused, the amount of gold he gets. Um, we're gonna see. I have not seen that specific pair in bot. It's got enough lockdown that once someone gets caught, they're probably gonna get killed. At least until Zaya has her ult.
Yeah. The big thing here though is they have to make sure they're on the right target because if they're hitting the Leona, she's just not going to die.
If they're hitting the Leona, the Yorick, or the Mordekaiser, all three of
Yeah,
those are going to be tanky. They need to make sure they get, and that goes for the whole team, for the whole game. The Zaya and the Corki have to be the focal points, at least unless one of the other characters gets like super far ahead. Like
of
if
course.
you
Yeah.
see Yorick coming out of lane 5-0, then obviously you're going to have to focus him down, but ideally they're going to be able to target out the Corki and the Zaya.
Yep, of course. I am a little worried about their spread of damage, their AP and AD, but we can't forget that the Yone is going to have split damage between the AP and AD because it's passive. So hopefully he'll be able to do damage despite them most likely stacking armor against the Gangplank, Pantheon, and half of Yone. So hopefully he can be able to get some damage out there. That is once again something that we really gonna have to see how the lanes play out.
Yeah. But for right now, we're going to go to a brief break while spectator delay ticks down and we get into the loading screen. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. unpause. Welcome back. We are loaded into game, and there's already exciting things on screen.
Yeah, there's some craziness going down here. We've got the Pantheon Swain bot lane, Mordekaiser jungle, and what we think is a normal bot lane, Xayah Leona. She did take the lethal tempo, which I am not a big fan of. I always prefer, at least lately, the airy build with going lethality. So she's definitely going to go more crit style, which is, in my opinion, the weaker build. But maybe it's going to be safer so she can survive a little longer and sustain during some fights. But we're going to see how that works out.
We're also
Overall,
getting
I think it's
it actually is it's a support Pantheon, and Deuce took the support item on him instead of going for straight up like regular lane items. So Swain looks like he's going to be the one farming.
okay. That actually, all right. That makes a lot more sense because the lethality items are a lot cheaper than the AP items that Swain needs.
Thanks,
so
Pike.
he can go with less gold. So that is not actually a bad pick in my opinion.
A little bit of fighting here in mid lane. Not a great trade for the Yone. Just going for the lethal tempo stacks.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be able to heal up from that though. That was not good though, but it is a range versus melee matchup, so the trades might be a little one-sided here. We got a wild trade going on top. Oh, fighting the bot side.
Okay, so there's the combo right there. Pantheon jumps in with the stun, Swain gets the pull back and goes into the claw, and then damage. They did drop the ignite on Xayah, but she flashed and healed to get out. So, pretty even trade, because Swain flashed in as well.
Yeah, it's an even trade maybe in terms of summoner spells, but
Health
overall
bars,
that was overall that was definitely a clown victory there. Xayah is just gonna lose so much tempo from that. It's very clear that they're gonna want to just perma fight in the bot lane and get out of this lane super ahead. If they don't get kills in this lane, I think it could be lost for them.
Alright, we got Batman coming in for a gank in mid. Demandus uses the E, goes for the Q, misses the knockup. Batman flashes in, gets the stun. He's autoing. Ooh, Corki, I think, tried to flash at the last second, so the summoner went on cooldown, but he didn't get out because the auto was already wound up by Sejuani.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. You know that's gonna be so bad for him. He loses the flash for absolutely nothing and still dies there. That's just painful to watch.
Top lane's interestingly swinging. Oh, got more fighting in bot lane. Pantheon jumping on in. Alright. Gangplank has to flash out. Yorick's autoing. Both spent their flash. Ooh. Yorick gets the Q. So Gangplank's been generally super low, but between the corrupting pot and the biscuits, Gangplank's been Jesse's been sustaining through it all. But Yorick does look like, at least in the early levels so far, he's been winning trades. He's been winning out on damage and sustain.
Oh, big kill coming down.
Yep. And he gets the snapcast Q for the kill there. Kind of wants the Leona, but they're not going to go under turret.
Yeah, not much to talk about there. That was just easy combo from Induce right on onto the Xayah. For the top lane, though, it's very clear that the idea is you can't orange out of the little trap that Yorick sets up. So that's an ability that's basically useless against Yorick.
And you can see right there, once Yorick gets the ghouls going, Gangplank doesn't really. He does get bonus gold. He can one shot them with the parlay, but he takes a chunk of damage.
Ooh.
Demandus going in. Yes, I think one auto.
Yeah, this lane is not going well in favor of Demandus, and it really should early on. He's not able to get much CS, and his trades aren't going that well. He's just getting kind of kited out by the Corki.
Whenever he goes into melee range, Corky's just been dropping the E and right clicking.
Yeah. Can't walk into that for too long. Induce did try and get a gank down, but Corgi just presses W and gets away instantly.
So pretty quiet so far. Feels weird saying that when there's 3 kills in the first 6 minutes, but it's kind of quiet so far.
It does help that all the kills happened at once, and you have a Swain Pantheon lane that you expect to have 5 kills at this point.
Yeah, so we've got Mordekaiser sneaking into bot. The camera is not showing, but he is just kind of walking.
Man is going for a big trade here, actually. Actually gets some good damage down.
He doesn't commit the ult, though. Ooh, there's a flash E from Swain, and Mordekaiser comes in from the bush. Oh, gets a good combo on Swain. Kills Wisdom. There's a double kill. Xayah gets the second. They flash in for the Sejuani, but she's just too tanky right now. Meanwhile, in top, Gangplank's fighting Yorick on the ult, and he gets the kill. And Batman did get away in the end in the bot. So that was 2 for 1 at the end of the day.
Wanted action, and we got some action. We got some big fights going down bot lane. 2 for 0 bot lane. We got a trade kill top lane, 1 for 0 up there. Get back and forth between the Gangplank and Yorick. Not really what we expected, but Xayah and Leon are finding kills on this Swain, who just flashes in way too early, in my opinion. He could have waited half a second, maybe a full second, for Sejuani to get slightly closer, but he saw blood and he tried for it. I can't blame him.
As soon as the Mordekaiser made his presence known there, that was a rough time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is just
another one. They give the kill over to Xayah, but Batman and Induce take the Chemtech Drake, so that's a good pickup. And we've got Hextech coming up as second Drake.
It's easy to say the trade's worth it there, but that kill just shouldn't have happened. He should not have just been walking there with no vision at all. Dragon could have been free there if he actually just sat on the dragon. But it happens. They did get the dragon, and they can move forward and try and look for their win con, which might be dragons. We'll see.
Got a fight up here on top. Yorick's just queuing. Gangplank doesn't have his ult. Oh! That was
trial by fire.
That was some Rock'em Sock'em robots. They were just standing in front of each other autoing.
Which one can get their stuff off faster? The trial by fire comes up at the end, able to give them that extra damage he needed.
Yeah, I choose to believe that's the Caulfields versus the Phage itemization-wise. Gangplank just got his cooldowns up that little bit faster to make that little bit of difference.
Oh, absolutely. That's practically identical itemization. The only difference, I definitely agree with you there. The cooldown on the Caulfields is going to help there.
Ooh. So Xayah finally got back to base and spent that 3 kills worth of gold. That is a big item difference in bot. But here we have Sejuani coming in mid, interrupts the W with the Q, and Induced comes in with the Grand Skyfall.
Really good coordination on them. That's you could tell that these guys have played together for a long, long time. Everybody's at the right spot at the right time to pick up a kill on the Corki. And back to this Xayah's itemization. She's going for the crit Xayah build. I actually am surprised she doesn't go for the early Berserker's Grease here. I think it would help her a lot in this lane, being able to get her stuff off faster and also get away from the skill shots of the Swain to pick up those boots. I kind of think that she should have gone for it, but She just wants straight damage at this point.
Here's a fight up in top lane. Gangplank drops the ult. Yorick flashes away from Sejuani, but Batman follows up with the ult. Mordekaiser takes Sejuani to the Death Realm, and we've got a fight in bot lane at the same time. Xayah ults in. Swain goes down while he's in his ult. Batman gets killed for his trouble.
Whew. Yeah, it kind of seems like the Swain pick's uncomfortable. The big fight here, though, Yone's going in.
Yone did commit his ult earlier. I don't think it was in that fight. It must have been in a previous one. Oh, Pantheon just getting kited out by the Xayah, and she is going to right-click for her 5th kill of the game.
Yeah, these picks are just not working out bot lane. I'm kind of wondering what they're thinking. The Swain pick just looks uncomfortable. I don't know if he's got a lot of games on it. And as a lane that's supposed to win hard early in Pantheon Swain, them falling behind is so detrimental. Xayah's going to be able to do so much more later. I don't know what is going on here.
Oh, Yorick missed his E when he had Gangplank in the ring. Otherwise, that would have been a really good fight for him. But instead, Jesse just walks away.
Yeah, that's just like a misplay there. He easily could have gotten a kill. Him missing it, though. He might be able to look something. He's probably going to push this in hard. Maybe look for a reset, or even go for a kill. He's pretty low.
Those minions under turret are super annoying. Oh, and here's a 3-man in the jungle. Mordekaiser goes into the stopwatch. There's the Leona ult. She dives in. Mordekaiser pops the passive, gets his shield, flashes over the wall. There's the Yone ult to finish it off, but now he's stunned by Leona under the turret. And he flashes over, but now Corki's here for revenge. Goes in 1v3 just to get stunned by Induced. Now Xayah's on Batman. Swain comes in with a good route to get them out of trouble.
That seems like how they're gonna win this game. Batman, Demandus, and Induced walking together, playing together like they've done for so long. They have such good coordination. If they actually stick together, I think they can accomplish a lot here. A big fight, ult coming out, top lane.
Right, there's the Gangplank ult. Barrel's coming down, nice chunk. Yorick's emoting as he gets under his turret.
Yeah, Jesse getting a lot of damage down. Team's able to push us out and probably get some plates for it too. No TP, TP might be coming back up here for Yorick to do something.
Yeah, he's gonna even up the plates though. It's gonna go 3 for 3 at the very least. Yorick finished his Sunderer on that pack though, so that's a good buy. And he does have his teleport.
Yeah.
I don't know the timing with Unleashed teleport. I think it's 14 minutes, so
It is 14, so yeah, we should look for that soon. Unleashed is gonna be coming up here in the next 45 seconds, maybe even for this, not for this dragon, but for the next one at least.
I think it's a pretty good call for Clown Gaming to just give up that one. I think the individual Hextech Drake isn't world ending.
No, but
this infernal soul.
Yeah. We do have the package here on Corki, so they could be looking to fight for this Herald.
Yeah, we've got all of both teams except for Swain in top lane. Now Yorick's in there alone. Corki packages in, but Yorick's still just stuck out of nowhere. So Jesse gets him with a barrel, but then the AoE damage from Xayah just cuts through all of them.
That was so much. They fought in such a bad chokehold for them. And especially not having the Swain there to cover and get some of that damage back. It's rough there to go for that.
Yeah, the 4v5 fight, by the time they realized they were outnumbered, you could see them trying to make an escape out through the top, but Swain going for the fight after getting the catch on Corki, but he just W's on out.
They should be a little scared here.
Flashes in. Xayah's here now.
Well, I will say... Ooh, some nice damage down. I will say the Corki Flash man is a little more than the Swain Flash.
100%, yeah.
I'll say it's a pretty good trade for them.
So, I gotta say, 15 minutes in, I am not sold on Mordekaiser jungle.
I have not seen it do anything. I won't lie to you. I kind of forgot it was in the game. That's how unimpactful it's been.
He had
But
that one big gank in bot lane, which, to be fair, has turned out to be absolutely massive as far as momentum goes and getting Xayah ahead. He came out and just did that chunk of damage, and Xayah cleaned up everything. Um, but going first item Zonya's, like, not having boots even still, he's only 10 farm up, so on Batman, so he's not getting, like, that much extra gold. It's
yeah,
it's just really a suboptimal pick, and I can appreciate it as a flex to try to bait Clown into something, but here's Induced ulting into top. Yorick's caught in a Gangplank ult. There's the Ignite. Ooh, clean kill.
the flex pick doesn't matter when you're just dead. And I don't even think the flex pick was worth it because at this point he's losing lane pretty hard. He's up about 20 CS, but he's gonna lose his tower here,
Yep.
and he's lost a lot of momentum, especially when he's supposed to win this early game against the Gangplank. So I feel like the Mordekaiser jungle just unimpactful. Yes, he had, like you talked about, that good gank bot lane, but that's something any jungler could have done.
Yeah, especially if you look at the drafts from Clown, they were probably gonna pick Gangplank no matter what. Like, they usually, when it's left open, they do blind Gangplank often. It's such a comfort pick. He's so good on it. So, like, you don't have to mind game that hard for that pick. You can pick a conventional jungler in that spot.
Yeah, and even there are other flex picks he probably could have gone to even, like, bait out, but the Mordekaiser, it doesn't feel like a flex pick. It feels more like they forced the top lane to go jungle.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Like, they could have picked Trundle here, honestly, and it been just as good.
True. Probably better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, alright. Let's take a look at some individual gold. Pretty even across the board, except for bot lane. Bot lane, the Xayah is the one outlier. Jesse's got a good 700-ish, 600-ish gold lead in top. Mordekaiser, for all the shit I just talked, Mordekaiser's basically dead even with Batman. But the Sejuani, I think, is much more useful at the end of the day.
Yeah, Sejuani's gonna be more useful. That gold lead top is purely just because Gangplank is Gangplank. He's down in the kills and he's down in assists. He's up in kills, but he's down in assists and CS. He's down 20 CS, but him being Gangplank lets him get so much more gold. But the gold lead bot lane, let's talk about this. About 1,800 gold or something like that.
We got a fight coming in mid with the Herald going down. There's a Leona ult with the follow-up Zenith Blade on Pantheon, the follow-up Ignite, too. Now we're getting a Siege with the Herald. It's gonna get the charge off.
We need to see Pantheon do here is Pantheon needs to get out of this lane, go to the side, and get a flank off with his ult.
Ooh, Xayah flashes in with the ult to cut down Swain.
Absolutely brutal snipe there from Xayah.
Yorick is just continuing to hammer away. Here's an engage from Pantheon, but Corki has the package to get out from the Yone ult.
That was so unfortunate. That split second, you know he was spamming W there. Split second later, he was dead there.
Yorick gets his second kill of that individual push. Or his second tower.
Meanwhile, this is when Yorick just starts becoming Yorick.
Yeah, the Infernal Drake did go down, so that's 2-1 in Dragons. But yeah, this is peak annoying Yorick time.
I can't say I know much about Gangplank, but I'm wondering what this pick is from Jesse. This Prowler's Claw on Gangplank. I can't say I've ever seen this.
I am not going to claim to be a Gangplank expert. Usually, when it's a Prowler's Claw, the big like push to do that is the armor pen mythic passive is a lot better than the mythic passive on a lot of uh, items. And I think especially in this matchup, the Prowler's Claw dash is going to be really good to get him out of the Yorick ring if they're going for an all-in.
Okay. Yeah, that Yorick ring is targetable.
All right, so we've got Induced ulting in. Yone comes in behind. Leona's low. She goes into the stopwatch. Yorick's getting chopped down. Jesse gets the kill. Now he's chasing down Leona. Swain throws down the W. Sejuani comes in. Jesse gets the second kill.
Never mind. The Prowler's Claw is genius. He used Prowler's Claw there to get on top of him. Genius, my bad. Jesse's a genius. Prowler's Claw is the choice.
Ooh, and those 2 kills, they start up the Baron. Induced isn't there, but the only ones from FC on site are Xayah and Mort. But now Corky's teleporting in. Batman's low. The Baron's low too. Mordekaiser's coming in. Baron gets taken out. Yone goes over the wall. Xayah gets the kill on Swain. Gets the kill on Jesse. Now Yone's in trouble. Ults out past the red buff. Beast is getting chased down by the Mordekaiser. They're walking away.
That fight went good to bad for Clown Gaming so fast. Yes, they picked up the Baron, but they lose 3 members, one of them being a crucial shutdown onto the Gangplank. I'm starting to wonder, what can Clown Gaming do to come back here?
They were this close to getting that big 1,000 gold pinata on Xayah, and that would have been actually massive.
Oh, absolutely so big, but it's Xayah. She can just press R, not be touched, and then do 1,000 damage with her E.
Yeah, we don't get to see live stats like the big kids, but I have to imagine the damage coming out of Xayah that fight was pretty massive.
Oh, can we please take a look at this gold lead between the bot lane? Now, we do have to preface this that the Swain is technically the carry.
Swain's the one who was farming, yeah.
Yes. But either way, no matter who you want to compare this gold to, that's a 3,000 gold difference.
Well,
almost 4,000.
The big one there is Jesse, actually. He's only 500 gold below the Xayah. So Gangplank is the one who has the gold to turn this around.
True. That is true. Can the Gangplank get close enough to the Xayah, though? Because one barrel, you might think you have a good barrel setup, and all Xayah has to do is press R. So it's going to have to be some sort of surprise attack or get on her in CC. Batman needs to get on top of the Xayah, not let her move, not let her even press her ult.
And I gotta say, for how much I talked shit about the Mordekaiser pick, walking in with the passive running into that Baron pit is kind of peak Mordekaiser. That's exactly where you want to be with that champion.
Oh, absolutely.
Batman's getting jumped. He gets sent into the Death Realm. Mord's walking him down. They're just staring each other down. He's in the middle of 3. And Xayah somehow ends up with that kill. I feel like they kind of want that gold to go on Mordekaiser.
Yeah, a little bit there. It's also kind of funny just watching Sejuani, Batman just stop and almost give up. He's at the edge of the Death Realm waiting for it to come down, and he can't do much. He's just sitting there waiting, and it was... But yeah, that gold definitely could have gone on to someone else. But they really are putting all their eggs in one basket here.
Yeah. Got another Infernal Drake coming up. Ping's going down, but it's just the 3rd Drake for FC, so I feel like Clown can pretty safely just not go for this. They are going for the Yorick. Induced ults in, flashes in with the stun, Gangplank ults, but Yorick is just out of there.
Yeah, Clown Gaming is just trying at this point. The package on the Corky, though, what are they going to do with it? They have Soul Point now, so when Dragon comes up, they can force anything. They could force the Baron. And Pause comes out, actually.
Very brief pause. I am not looking at chat, so I don't know if that was accidental.
I think because we're behind, they kind of spectator just skipped the pause a little bit there.
Yeah, this is super normal. Don't worry, stream viewers. This is just extra time to catch our breath, take a second, see what's going on, see what needs talking about. Because we've got, as I say that, the game goes back into motion. They look like they're setting up in bot. Corky's got the package. Mordekaiser is here. Yone goes in. Corky packages early, and Yone snaps back with his E. He is getting walked down by the Mordekaiser, though the shield bow's popped. They cannot chase him under the turret.
That Mordekaiser ult was up, I believe. I don't understand why he didn't use it. Did he think he could kill there? Or what?
I think they saw the Yone E and got a little bit confused.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there. They definitely should have ulted there and easily gotten a kill on Demondes. But to each their own, I guess. Save it for next game.
So item-wise, we've got some interesting, like not that unexpected, like stuff like Yorick having a hull breaker is the most Yorick thing I can imagine.
Oh, absolutely. That item is basically spelled Yorick.
Yeah. I'll say I'm not sure why he's still top lane. With the inner turret down, I feel like bot lane is probably where he should go, but this is the Clown Gaming stream, so I'm cheering for suboptimal play out of him.
Absolutely. But I agree, especially with Dragon coming up. They have to focus their objectives correctly and try and push out that lane as much as possible to be able to rotate to the Dragon. But
I'm used to Corky builds to an extent. Is Crown like the thing to do on him now?
No, actually, not anymore. It shouldn't be. The build for Corky is pretty much the Manamune into the Ludens with the Ravenous Hydra because that gives so much damage off his ult. But I think what they're afraid of is the Yone going on top of the Corky and just one-shotting him. So the Crown's going to give him at least some sustain from it. But yeah, usually the Ludens is the build for Corky.
Really clean flash out from the Swain, finding himself in the danger zone.
Yeah, that was really quick from him. Quick fingers. But at this point, is he really worth gold?
The Baron gets started immediately on spawn. Or this is the blast cone. Here's got vision. This thing is dying so fast. Batman looks like he's poised to go for the steal, but it's totally blinded. Oh no, he does have a vision ward in there. Gangplank ult goes down, he goes in. Oh, Yorick ends up getting the Baron. And Batman dies for his trouble, but now Leona has to flash out. The Maiden's in there, Yone goes in. Yorick gets a giant chunk on the Swain, but Jesse gets the kill on him. Now Corky's totally on the opposite side. He's trying to delay the backs because the rest of FC got out.
They might be going against Corky. He might be dying here.
Yeah, there's the Pantheon ult, but Induce just walks away because he can't flash in for the Corky.
Yeah. That is just an unfortunate situation. Oh.
Come on. Game of inches there. I feel like
yeah.
I feel like Demandus was just like a little bit off on that.
Unfortunate situation from Batman. He smites and still doesn't get it. No smite coming out at all from the Mordekaiser. It must have been 10 HP or something real close to that one. But Yorick picking up the Baron. This is what I wanted to see. Now, Dragon is coming up very shortly. Almost 30 seconds to it. And they're pushing out the bot lane. They're about to get this bot lane tower and easy rotate it. I think this is a free soul for, or at least an easy soul for Fiendish Codex here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any world in which Clown can go for an all-in 5v5 unless they truly want to just coin flip the game. And I don't think they have to. I think they do have win conditions where Yone just needs to get some more gold. Gangplank just needs to get maybe like one more item and he can get it done. But like, giving up Infernal Soul feels so bad right now.
Yeah, but the Corki does have packages. This is going to change the fight. Very.
Batman gets taken into the Death Realm, while Yorick goes in, gets a bunch of damage on Pantheon. Swain and Pantheon are fighting the Corki, but he's winning that 2v1. Batman does eventually go down. Yorick solo kills the Yone on the backside, and now he's running down Gangplank. He gets him in the ring. Gangplank Prowler's Claws out of the ring, and that is a clean 5-0 for Fiendish Codex.
Oh, that was so rough to see. That that Corki package did so much damage coming out.
Yeah.
Almost 50% of Pantheon's HP instantly gone by that Corki package, just completely burning him down.
Yeah, Pantheon having just the Eclipse right now at 30 minutes in. That was he just doesn't have the gold. He doesn't have the items to make it. That's I don't have stats in front of me, but that's the first game loss I've seen out of Clown Gaming this whole season.
Yeah, it is the first loss. They were 10-0 coming into this game, not dropping a single game. Not even like match, just a single game they have not lost. 2-0s every week up until this week. So that's going to be a huge momentum swing coming into game 2.
Yeah. I'm pretty curious to see if we get a more traditional bot lane. I want to take a look at the damage charts. I have already gotten invited to the next lobby, so I'm hoping they're not waiting too long for us. Yeah, the Gangplank damage was massive, but Yorick and Corki were right up there.
I'm surprised by how low that Zaya damage was, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, that's true. That she seems to have just been last hitting.
Yeah, I think she did a lot more work in the early game, but everybody else was able to just put out enough damage to get them through the mid game, rolling on and taking that Nexus down for Fiendish Codex game 1.
Yeah. So we are going to go to a brief, most likely very brief break while we get in the lobby set up, while we get into draft for game 2. So don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. We are just getting into picks and bans, and I feel like I've failed Glorious Leader Sims that we did not talk about the skin giveaway on twitter.com/clowngaming.org. It's literally, it costs you nothing to enter, and there's going to be two winners getting skins. Um, it is a good time. So far, most of the entrants are uh, clowns themselves, so please take this food off their plates.
All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's look at our draft. We've got some bans coming out. Clown Gaming banning the same two champs they started last draft with Diana Morgana and the Jarvan Tom Kent's coming out for Fiendish Codex. I think both teams realized that it was not the bans where they went wrong. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, Fiendish Codex, they don't really have much reason to change anything. And there's our first change that we get a Yorick ban.
Yeah, I agree taking that one off there. The Darius ban coming out. I know Jesse plays a lot of Darius. It's his most played champion in solo queue. I've not seen him pick it up in competitive though, but Victor coming out for Demandus. Such a strong pick right now.
Yep, that's that's right away because the third ban in the first round for game one for Clown was the Victor, so they want to give it the first pick priority, which is exciting. I know it's a big pick for him. It's usually banned away.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the mid laner on the other side of Phoenix Codex must play it as they were trying to trade it last game. Ban it, not give it away. But this game they are able to first pick it. The Corki coming in for Phoenix Codex. This is actually a pretty even lane, in my opinion. They're both able to kind of equally poke each other out and are super strong mid to late game.
Uh, Interesting. And so now we've got a Jinx, which was another game one banned champion. That does free up the Clown Gaming bans. Their second round were both bot lane targeted. And so both players getting free from the shackles of the ban list. Um,
Yeah, and with last game the Zaya came out with so much damage. Having a hyper carry such as Jinx with a Thresh to facilitate the Jinx can honestly be a little scary if they're able to get some kills onto the Jinx. She can easily transition from the early, mid, and late game very strongly.
but do you
But
see what I see? Kills.
oh,
It's a
that
traditional
thing.
bot lane.
Oh, yes, it is. Misfortune Leona coming out from Induced and Wisdom. One of their best, honestly.
Yeah, that's a bonkers bot lane. They have such a good team fight. Even if they completely troll the next two picks, their team fight capability for Clown Gaming is fantastic.
Yeah. What do we want to see out of the next two picks? Well, the Sejuani ban is down, most likely. They're hovering it. I very much
It's
think they're going to go through it. Yeah.
it's a strong team fight champ, but I don't think they can with the bans they have left. I don't think pinching Batman is really the way to go. Because like, let's say we ban they ban the Sejuani and maybe the Zac.
The Zach is what I'm
There's
going to go with next.
yeah, I'm assuming actually we're gonna see the Zac ban. That's what I would ban if I was in their position and targeting Batman. Batman. There's still he's got a great Hecarim. He could just absolutely run over the map with a Hecarim. There's just a lot of picks. I know he's played a Mumu. I don't know if he's feeling a Mumu, but it gives a lot of team fight power. And I think that's where they focused with these bands that they took
Yeah.
out the team fight. Okay,
Oh,
and then going for the Hecarim pick.
that is actually very smart of them. This is called the soft counter, being able to ban two champions in a given role and then pick up the third one right there, Hecarim. This is dwindling Batman's tank pool. I think he's very much well known for it, but I feel like he's going to have a pick hidden in there and able to figure something out.
I've seen him play Nocturne. I've seen him play Viego. Um, Neither of those are the team fight picks.
Yeah.
And,
He even
and
could pick a Xin Zhao here if he's able to.
true.
Gangplank.
And that's where something like a Darius ban is pretty weird to me because Jesse plays Gangplank whenever it's open, seemingly. So like why spend the ban on the Darius?
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to bait him into picking Gangplank. I think they know he's going to pick Gangplank at any cost. They're baiting him into it, and they have a pick lined up for it.
Yeah. They really seemingly just have the plan there. Is that going to be a Nasus?
No, they're just rolling through their picks. But all right, let's go back. The Xin Zhao is the pick that I expected him to go. It does bring a lot of the team fight oriented nature that they want, and it can get some picks early on with the large jump. Honestly, the Camille would be an interesting pick. Honestly, Cho'Gath.
Okay, so Cho'Gath is a counter for Gangplank that has been seen in pro play a couple times because you can't cleanse the knockup.
Yeah.
And once he gets a couple items, the feast just absolutely demolishes squishy Gangplank builds.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and you can't cleanse the knockup, and the silence is not really worth cleansing.
Yep.
The big thing though is honestly the slow that comes after the knockup. If you're smart enough to cleanse the slow after the knockup, then you're able to get out and not get hit by the Vorpal spikes, which is probably going to be the play.
Yeah. I wish I knew the top laner for Fiendish Codex better to see how well they know the matchup. Because it is kind of a fun one. You kind of just sponge up everything and sustain off the CS in lane. I am more of a Cho'Gath player than a Gangplank player, but and I'm probably the only person who would actually describe that as fun.
Yeah, top lane's not my nature, but I've seen the matchup enough, like you said, in pro play, where I think with the Gangplank, what he's got to do is just try and form up and be able to assist his team anyway with the global alts. Because that's what he's going to be able to bring to the table. As anytime he walks up to the Cho'Gath, he's just going to get eaten.
Yeah,
and that's not a fun time for him.
They do have the advantage with the seemingly new teleport meta. Cho'Gath is not a side lane champ the same way that Yorick was. You're not gonna lose a fight to Cho'Gath and lose 2 towers like they did to Yorick. And he's not going to build a Hull Breaker, even though I don't think the Hull Breaker actually got that much use. At the end of the day, by the time he built it, the damage was already done. That's purely the like 1v1 get him in a side lane and just fight. But Gangplank brings that team fight utility with the ult, even if he's sitting in the 1v1.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Cho'Gath's probably gonna stick more to team fights than the York ever did.
Yeah, he's the main peel that they have alongside Thresh. He's gonna be keeping people off of this Jinx.
Yeah, that's the Thresh's entire job. The best champion in the game, in my opinion, of peeling people, literally has 2 of the greatest spells for peel. The most busted spell in the game, Lantern. So honestly, I really think that this game's gonna come down to the bot lane. What side can get ahead? If Induce can get a couple kills and get out of this lane and have his ult do insane damage with both Xin Zhao, the Victor W, the Leona ult, gets insane damage down, he'll be great. They'll be fine. But if Jinx gets even a little bit ahead, she really can start that snowball. And if that gets going, I'm a little worried for them.
The key to this, I think, is Batman. When you play a champ like Xin you've gotta make your presence known. You've gotta be felt around the map, and I want to see some early impact from him.
Yeah, I 100% agree, especially against the Hecarim. If he's not impactful early,
Yep.
then that's just going to be a huge jungle diff.
I've seen Batman play the other side of this matchup where he's the Hecarim and he's clip clopping around the map, getting stuff done, going from lane to lane, while the other jungler's just trying to take a camp and walk up to another lane. So I have faith that he knows how to play it, that he understands how the matchup works. It's just making it actually happen once they're on the rift.
100%, 100%. We're gonna have to see how this game plays out.
Yeah, but for now, we're gonna go into a break while spectator delay and the loading all happens. So don't go anywhere, and we will be right back. 2, 1. Unpause. Welcome back, everyone. We are in game. We are heading out. Okay, for a second it looked like Fiendish Codex was setting up for an invade. But it was just a little bit of weird pathing.
A little bit. Just some spicy play, but they are going for the 5-point, both of them. Nobody wants to risk giving anything away this game.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the clowns are much more serious this time around from the looks of it.
Absolutely. Both these team comps are honestly something you'd see out of an LCS game. You hide the names, maybe throw up a couple banners, and this might be an LCS game. We will see. Will we see some LCS play out of them?
So we've got double aggressive summoners, or double combat summoners. Because Exhaust isn't necessarily aggressive, but like I think it's gonna end up being used more aggressively with the Exhaust Ignite in bot lane for Clown Gaming.
Yeah, I see that pickup mostly being used for like the Corki and the Hecarim later in the later stages of the game.
Yeah,
but it 100% is going to help them get reduced damage on Jinx, especially whenever they try to go in.
Yep. Both junglers starting bots. Curious if they're both looking to try to get their top lanes ahead early, because I feel like that match does snowball once it gets going one way or the other. Either Cho'Gath gets tanky or Gangplank just gets too much damage.
Yeah, it's really going to be dependent on the jungler, who gets up there first and is able to impact the lane, and what they do with that lead after that.
Both went for the corrupting pot start, but Gangplank gets level 2 first, and he's going in with the barrels. Oh, just missed the shot.
Unfortunate there.
Ooh. And there's a nice Zenith Blade on the Jinx. Leona goes for the Ignite. Jinx gets the zap. And they're trading back.
I will say something that I'm surprised that... So the matchup between Thresh and Leona is one I'm very familiar with, being a bot laner. The Thresh should always counter Leona in lane, because whenever Zenith Blade goes out, Thresh can just press E, flare away, and she cannot do a single thing, will not be able to touch Jinx at all. But they were both level 2 there, and the Zenith Blade came out, and the Flay did not. So I'm wondering if the timing is going to be a little off this game.
Fight in top, and Cho is running away from the barrel. Yeah, I was surprised to see the hook come out instead of the Flay when the Zenith Blade landed.
100%. They're looking for something down here.
Yeah, they have level 3 advantage, whereas the FC bot lane is just level 2. But being pushed under turret, I feel like no one's going for a dive early.
Oh, but the Hecarim.
Oh, Hecarim's coming in top. Gangplank dodges the knockup from Cho, but Hecarim just gets the kill.
Yeah, he's just too far pushed up there without a single ward down.
Yep.
Let's look. He has 1 ward. He had 1 ward up and didn't use it. So, kind of just dies free there.
Yeah, Hecarim did spend the ghost. It's always such a tough thing because you have to ward differently for champs like Zac and Hecarim than you do for any other jungler in the game, and Nunu honestly too.
Yeah, the deeper wards are going to matter more. Instead of placing them in the bush, we need to kind of place them more in intersections, deeper in the river, to be able to see them earlier. But
I think he felt safer because Batman got the Scuttle Crab in bot lane, but he was just, like you said, pushed up way too far for his own good there.
Absolutely, but he is able to still do some damage, and seems fine, although the Cho'Gath has not reset to spend that assist gold he's gotten.
Interestingly, I want to take a look at the gold. Yeah, he has 825 now. Gangplank walked back to lane without buying after that.
That is interesting, because he definitely, at least I thought he would have had enough for at least like Sheen or something. But ooh, it looks like he's gonna get some damage
Good
down.
trade. Cho'Gath wants to auto that barrel, but he doesn't want to get shot on stream.
Yeah, honestly, it was not that great of a trade as he Gangplank has lost a lot of health there, but is able to heal it back up with oranges.
Okay, so I like that from Cho'Gath. Getting immediate Bramblefest, I think it's going to do so much in these trades. That's really, really rough for a Gangplank.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure this Gangplank, that orange, that W out of Gangplank is not going to be able to do anything. Can't remove any CC off the Cho'Gath. Can't even heal him now because he's got so much healing reduction.
But he does get back. He gets the machine, the boots, and teleports back.
That is the third Q I've seen induced hit onto the Jinx, bouncing off me and seeing that extra damage off. He is a lucky man today, as that is a ability that is entirely based on RNG, and whenever I use it, it doesn't seem to work.
Much dead even across the board so far. Even quieter still last game.
Yeah, I think both games know the implications of this game. Clown Gaming loses, they drop another game, and that's bad for them. But if Fiendish Codex, they know they could be the team to take games off Clown Gaming, and that is a big thing for them.
Yeah, going into, because I think this is the last week of the regular season, right? I don't know if I'm right.
I think this is the last game, or next week maybe.
Okay. Okay, one more week. Let's see. Yeah, but going into this game, like, looking at the standings, any team that's able to take out the otherwise undefeated Clown Gaming, that's gonna feel great. That's gonna be so good. Oh my god, Gangplank presses R and Cho'Gath flashes in. And he does get the kill on Jesse. Batman flashes in and does get the return kill. But ooh.
Unsure why he walked back in. Those Vorpal spikes still could kill him there.
Fighting going down in bot lane, totally split up. Leona's trying to get attention. Jinx fires the rocket. Fishbones takes out Induced.
Yeah, Induced just got greedy there. He walked into those traps. He straight up walked backwards into those traps with flash up, taking so much damage when he could have easily just flashed out and probably gotten more damage off because of it.
First Dragon Hex tag. Looks like Hecarim is on that bot lane's coming up to give him a hand.
I'll be honest with you. This is a lane that, as a Jinx player, Jinx is my bread and butter. I love her to death. This is a lane I would be very happy to play. Jinx, Thresh, Misfortune, Leona. It's so good for Jinx because she outranges the Misfortune and able to get a lot of poke damage down on Misfortune, and they're not really able to get much back, especially because of that Thresh Leona matchup we talked about earlier. And it looks like it's kind of paying off for them.
Now, as a not bot lane player myself, I always had the impression that Jinx was a late game pick. That was something you played to scale rather than to be strong in. But while I'm talking about that, Hecarim's coming on and he gets the charge in on Misfortune. He has the ult, goes for the ult, gets both of them feared back, but they're not putting damage on MF. They're trying to give the kill to Jinx. But Hecarim does get the kill in the end. There's the hook. Rem gets the kill on Wisdom.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if Jinx is a late game champion or not when you have Thresh and Hecarim coming into the lane to just give you free kills. Here's the silver platter. I got some kills on it. There is your dinner. You can have it for free. It doesn't matter at that point. Jinx is going to be so strong going into this mid game. I'm a little scared for Clown Gaming honestly.
Yeah, they had just gotten back to lane pretty recently, I think. Pretty sure they had just recently got back to lane. I'm very sorry if I'm misremembering that. But they didn't have a chance to set up any vision, and Hecarim just blast coned over the wall and came on in.
Yeah, honestly, a little bit of a surprise there from the hack room. This honestly, the lane has been the most quiet. Mid lane, we have not talked about mid lane a single time. They're both just fine farming it out. I'm fine with it too because Victor's going to get super strong. I
Yep.
think he's going to be able to put out some more damage than the Corki later on, in my opinion.
He should have his. Yeah, he does have his first upgrade, so the laser has the follow up, just purely from farm. And Demandus is the wild card. He got shut down in the last game, and the Yone wasn't particularly impactful.
Yeah, we've not talked about him a lot this entire series. We're hoping to change that this game with a scaling pick. Like I said, pure farming getting an upgrade is kind of rare in Victor. Usually need to get at least 1 or 2 takedowns to get those upgrades faster. But 11 minutes in, already getting one off farm, that's pretty good, honestly.
There's the hook on Leona, misses the flay. Yeah, Batman's another one. Has been quiet this game. Did get the kill, but as I say that, he's going in. They're looking for a 4-man in bot, but gets seen on a ward, so Victor's just walking on back to mid.
Yeah, honestly, they need to work on clearing out this vision, get a sweeper as fast as possible. I assume that the Leona's going to pick one up on reset now that they have their support item upgraded to at least level 2.
Batman has a pretty good reason for not having a sweeper because he did take Herald. So
yeah, that is true. I'd be a little more worried if he tried sweeping there and placed the Herald down. We've seen it before. We don't want to see it again.
Yep. We're getting a 3v3 in bot lane right now. The hook misses on Misfortune, the flay back on Leona, flash away from the Leona ult. Hecarim goes in, gets the fear on Xin Zhao, gets the knockback, there's the Misfortune ult. Bullet Time doesn't get any kills, but Jinx finishes off Xin Zhao. Now Gangplank's here, he hoofs it all the way down. Corki and Demandus are fighting in the river. Now there's a bit of a chase, Gangplank's walking up. This is all set up for, it feels like they're trying to get position for a dragon that's in 1 minute. Cho'Gath just didn't leave top lane. There's 3 plates down up there so far.
Yeah, that's those TP changes coming in. The Gangplank had to TP to the tower and not get the speed buff off the TP anymore. So he was pretty much unimpactful, but like I keep telling people, the TP bot is still going to matter because even the pressure of him being there stopped them from rotating towards Dragon and getting more vision set up. They had to back off because he was there. I still think it's impactful.
Yeah.
Not even close to what it was before.
His appearance in bot lane, for sure, I think salvaged that fight. You're right. But the gold difference being down almost 900 gold and the XP, it's going to hurt him a lot. I don't think he can do much against the Cho'Gath now.
Yeah, the hope is honestly to get him out of that lane as soon as possible and get Cho'Gath out of that lane so the GP can farm. So avoiding him is fine. Placing the Heraldman and rotating Victor back up there was smart to catch waves. Let's see if they can go for Dragon and actually secure it. But Fiendish Codex is already on it, so they might have trouble here.
A little bit unfortunate gold-wise. It looks like all the plate gold from the Herald charge went on to Batman. I didn't see any go on to the Gangplank. It was just a solid 320.
Yeah, Batman did kind of troll there by staying and not giving the gold over to
Gangplank slowed. He flashes the knockup. The feast was just coming off a cooldown. Good escape. That's exactly what we were worried about right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about earlier. Him not using the W to get the slow. Those vorpal spikes are going to do so much damage if he doesn't cleanse the slow. He can't cleanse the knockup. He has to use it on something. It's all about timing, and he just missed it there and took a lot of damage for it.
And a really unfortunate sign for clown fans everywhere. They have objective bounties up. The 4,000 gold difference being 2 dragons down. So if they can get it back, it's it makes the swing much easier. Okay, Batman smites the blue away from Cho'Gath. The Victor ult goes down. Cho has to flash out.
Yeah, that's actually a win in my opinion. They did use two ults there, but they got the flash and kept the Cho'Gath from getting a stack. So that's pretty good in my book. I don't know how he didn't get the stack, as his ults must have been on cooldown from earlier, so he wouldn't have gotten stack anyways.
Yeah, he probably feasted a minion for
Yeah.
a stack. Oh, and Demandus is running down the Jinx. He used the new Unleash teleport, so he got the speed buff, but Jinx is just out of range.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He really needed to get that. But honestly, I'd like to take a look at something. The Gale Force on the Jinx. I am not a fan of this. I never like taking Gale Force on Jinx. I don't think it's necessary because when in fights you get those resets, you don't need that movement. She's got so much movement already. The damage is much better from Kraken. I think they should have picked it, even though there's not that many tanks.
Coming in here. Oh, there's a fight in mid. Hecarim's going on the Misfortune. God, and now the hook, the play, the box comes down. Hecarim's just spamming that Q button.
Yeah, it is just going from bad to worse. Even especially this fight down here.
Yeah, Corki didn't get much for his teleport cooldown, but he's clearing out some minions.
Clown Gaming really got to try and come together and look for these objectives. Get the bounty. Bounty brothers need to come together.
Yep.
Look for the Herald. Look for these outer towers and get to those inner towers to get that extra bounty gold on the inner towers. And honestly, they need to kill this Jinx. This Jinx has to die. 300 gold bounty on her, and she's just gonna keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I'll agree. I don't know about the. I don't think the Gale Force is the way to go on Jinx, but I think for how squishy the clown lineup is overall, I guess they don't feel threatened enough to go for something like Shield Bow.
Yeah, but more damage is more damage. I still take
True.
the Kraken. I still take the Kraken of the Gale Force, especially on Jinx. I don't think she needs it.
Very true.
But we will see how she gets these resets in these fights. If she's able to get them, then that will really just increase her odds of killing everybody on the other team.
So there's setup. There is. FC is going for this Herald, which I feel like second Herald gets a bad rep, but especially with bounties up, I think second Herald would have been a really clutch pickup for the clowns between the bounty gold for the Herald and the bounty gold for the turrets. But they just do not have the positioning for it. They're all pushed back, trying to play safe.
Yeah, that Herald would have been so good on them. It would have been able to open up the map and get gold into their pockets, but they're just not able to do anything right now. They're being completely choked out by Fiendish Codex. This 2v2 bot lane is just not what I expected to go down. I expected the skill of an Induced and Wisdom to kind of outmatch them, but the Jinx Thresh is such a strong lane.
Look at
That it didn't matter.
Yeah, we're used to seeing Induced coming out of lane with like 5 kills and a 50 CS lead. It's a little jarring, a little scary if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think the last game might have racked his mental a little bit. I hate to see it, I really do. I love when he puts on his carry pants and is able to perform, but this is just not as weak, it feels like.
Fiendish Codex dropped the Herald, didn't get anything out of it. They dropped the Herald in mid. It looks like purely as a distraction. Oh. Meanwhile, Jesse does get solo killed by the Cho'Gath in top lane.
Solo Bolo coming down top lane. I was surprised. That was a very close fight.
Yeah.
I thought I was able to get the burn off, but that feeds just too much damage.
Yeah, with the barrel damage being, that is still true damage, right? I'm not drunk, right?
On Feast?
Or no, the barrels. I think the barrels are
Oh,
still true
I
damage.
no, I don't think so. I think it's AD percentage.
Okay. Because Cho'Gath does primarily have, well, he just finished his Winter's Approach, so he primarily had armor at the time. So if they were doing true damage, I know that Trial by Fire is true damage.
Yeah, that's
So
true damage.
he did have ways to cut through the Cho at the time, but now that the HP stacking is coming in, that matchup's going to get worse and worse.
I can do my research, but I think the cannon barrage upgrade does percent health damage too, so that's going to be able to help cut down a Cho'Gath. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty positive it does. So that's going to be able to help cut it down if he's got it already.
All right, so Cho's in the middle of a 4v1 right now. Leona goes in with the Zenith Blade, gets the Misfortune, make it rain, flashes in on top of MF. Oh my god, and Hecarim out of left field with the Ghost in, the charge. All right, now Batman's fighting on the backside, but he's got 3v1. That's a double kill for Corky. Now they're chasing down Demandus. He's running for his life, dodges the hook, dodges the zap. He is making it out. But it's 21 minutes in, so the Barons spawn.
Yeah, Jinx was able to put out so much damage there before anyone even looked at her. The Xin Zhao did finally find her and try and get on top of her, but at that point it was just too late. Too much peel coming out for her. She was able to put so much damage out, able to burst down the gangplank, eventually kill the Xin Zhao, and now they have to just get a free Baron for them.
The Hecarim coming in out of nowhere, just at Mach 5, was so massive, that fight. What should have been as easy as a pick on a Cho'Gath ever is. Which,
of course.
But that should have been just a really straightforward pick. But Gordon just showing up at the right time, buying just the right amount of time there, was so big and turned that whole fight around.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we've got Dragon coming up in 2:30. Are they able to do anything about this? Because that is going to be Soul, and that's going to be a Mountain Soul on.
Jesse's getting jumped. He avoids the one shot with the Cho'Gath ult, but he has to get right out of lane as quickly as he got back into it.
Yeah, as we were saying, the Soul coming up, that's going to be a Mountain Soul on the Cho'Gath. Is he going to be able to die at all? I really need to see a LDR come out from the Misfortune. She looks like she's working on Collector, but I'm hoping the LDR is after that.
Yeah, they need something to chew through the super tanky Cho'Gath, and honestly, even the Hecarim is very tanky at this point with the Divine Sunder, the Sterax.
Yeah, absolutely, and Thresh is gonna be stacking armor too with his passive, so 3 people stacking armor. We need some armor cut in there from Misfortune.
We've got a second. I'm gonna see if I can take a look at the gold. Obviously, I'm jinxing the hell out of that, and there's gonna be a 5v5 team fight as soon as I hit the letter X. So, honestly, just looking at it, I wouldn't have guessed that Corky would be 2,000 gold up.
Yeah, he's got a lot of CS. He has about a 60 CS over his 60 CS lead over the Victor and a kill. He's got a 600 gold bounty on him. Honestly, if they can get on top of that and get that onto Victor or even Misfortune, that could possibly be an item swing.
They made an attempt to pick off the Jinx, but she did get out of there. They spent I believe it was the Leona ult and the Gangplank ult going for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we've got Dragon coming up here very shortly. 22 seconds on it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate timing for having spent the Gangplank ult, because it most likely... No, it's not going to be up. It's still halfway from cooldown.
Yeah,
so
my question is this Leona ult going to be up in time? It does look like it's going to be, so that could be a tide turner with Leona Misfortune ult. If they can get that down, that can burst the Dragon to, very quickly and be a surprising damage.
Leona did
Looks
get
like they're
herself
gonna
an
give
epic
it to
shroud,
him.
so she. Okay, so got a bounty. But that's a mid outer turret bounty for a mountain soul. So it's a gold swing, but a mountain soul.
Yeah, I get the idea there. They got 2 turrets for the Mountain Soul. I think it's probably the only thing they could have done. They probably weren't going to be able to get the steal off.
True.
So pushing the lanes out is most likely the best idea there, but it just hurts. It hurts to see because now Jinx, Corgi both have the Mountain Soul armor buffs, so that's going to be a little harder to get on top of them and kill them.
Yeah, the shields, the armor MR buffs. The armor MR isn't going to be super impactful on really anyone but Cho, being the only one who's built any armor MR.
Yeah, it's mostly the shield that's going to be helping them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we've got a siege in mid. Gangplank's fighting the Cho'Gath. Oh, stopwatches to try to get out of the feast, but gets killed anyways in the end. And now Hecarim's diving in past the inhib turret. Leona's going in, gets the ult on the Jinx, but no one else is hitting Jinx. And Corki kills off the Leona. This might be game.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and push forward here. Oh, and they get a hook on the Demandus.
Crown saves him for a little bit, the stopwatch, but gets popped in the end.
That is his first death, and it looks like going to be the only death for him this game.
The 1v1, the fountain saving induced as he gets the kill on Jinx, gives her first death of the game. That's a moral victory.
That might be a little greedy at first. They might not be able to end the game off that just because Jinx wanted to get an extra kill, pad those stats a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like they actually don't have the damage to finish that off right now just because of that greedy 1v1. So it's not an L yet.
Absolutely not. The game is never over until that Nexus explodes. I'm just kind of wondering why she would do that, especially in a competitive match. Going for the kills instead of just ending the game. They could have done it there. Jinx does it so quickly, but I guess the stats are more worth it.
To be fair, they have they do have a 12k gold.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
All it's three, well, only 2 of the 3 inhibs, and both of the Nexus. So it's an uphill battle. But
yeah, they could probably end the game on the next push, but it's still the principle of it. They have to play 3 minutes longer than they needed to.
Yeah, and in gold leagues especially, but in any competitive game, it's a big question of how cleanly you can play. How it's you want to optimize, you want to just try to be better. That's not what that is. You got a Baron.
What can Clown do to come back here? I would say, honestly, try and look for some picks. Pick off one person, see if they overstep, and look for Baron. But what's going to need to happen is for them to misplay. If Codex doesn't misplay, it's going to be a little bit hard.
Yeah, I think if they can manage to pick either the Corki or the Jinx, they're still in a good position in the team fight, but that's just a tall ass. There goes the Leona engage, but I don't see a bullet time. There's the bullet time. The Baron did go down already. Jinx gets 2. Now they're running. Jinx Gale forces in, chasing down Induced, gets the rocket for the triple kill. Now, Cho'Gath is teleporting in on the base, and that is a Nexus that's gonna die.
Yeah, this is game over for them. GG going over to Fiendish Codex, taking down the undefeated Clown Gaming.
Yeah, denying the undefeated season. Really pretty cleanly. Game 1 was scrappy and back and forth, but game 2 was shockingly clean.
Yeah. I think game 1 really changed the tides of the whole series. I don't know if it was a mental thing or if, honestly, hey, this might not have been their week. They might have woken up on the wrong side of the bed today. It happens to everybody. But the big thing now is, can they reset, go back to the books, look at what they did wrong, and come back next week stronger. The last week before playoffs. Can they do it?
And I think for sure everyone in suddenly Group B in this Lotus Gardenia League has to keep an eye out for Fiendish Codex. I think Rem died like twice the entire series.
Yeah, that's crazy. He was able to put out so much damage. He wasn't the damage leader on his team. That was definitely the Corky.
Yep.
But still, he was so impactful. Rem honestly getting let down. But if we're talking about impact this game, I think it's got to go to Gordon.
Yeah. The Hecarim
Jungler was
was
able,
all over the
both
place. Super
games.
impactful.
All
Both
right, maybe
games.
not the first game, but very much second game.
Oh yeah. Wait a second. We're saying both games. That was
Yeah.
the Mordekaiser game.
Yeah. We're not talking about the Mordekaiser, but definitely the Hecarim being super impactful that game.
Yeah, the Hecarim was gigantic.
Those ults from out of nowhere, NASCAR coming in there and just sweeping the floor.
All right. Thank you to all the viewers for tuning in. I hope to see you guys back next week. I think it's next week. Don't quote me on that. I'm not looking at a calendar. In the meantime, yeah. In the meantime, remember to follow Clown Gaming on both Twitch and Twitter. Remember to enter that skin giveaway. And have a good night. Stay safe out there.
Thank you, everyone.